In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Stalogy 365 Days notebook. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a paper test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this notebook coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. So, this is the Stalogy Editors Series 365 Days notebook. This notebook has sort of a textured, I don't know, plastic or plastic coated paper cover. It feels pretty nice and it looks nice. I like these silver foil things that they put on here. It says stationary, standard, and technology. What should have been is, and Stalogy. I always have a hard time saying that name for whatever reason. Looks nice. Nothing else on the back. On the spine, you can see that stitching kind of coming through a little bit. Looks nice. It has a very high quality feel to it. Specs wise, these come in several different colors, and they come in a lot of nice sizes, which I like. It comes in A6, B6, A5, and B5, so you can go a little smaller than this, you can go bigger. Lots of good options here for sizes. Now, they only come in a 4mm grid. The 4mm grid I actually don't mind. I normally like a 5, but the 4 really isn't bad. There are 368 pages. So the idea is you're supposed to have enough for 365 days, but because it uses signatures, you can't have an odd number, so that there's 368 in here. And it has to be multiples of 8 or 4 or something. So it's a very thin paper. I haven't been able to get the official number. I believe it's 52 GSM, but I saw that from one source. I haven't confirmed that. All the pages are like this. We have a gray end paper here, and then that is it. There's no bookmark or anything. So this is the page layout, and this is sort of the special thing apart from having 368 pages. Up at the top in the header here, you have a place where you can circle the month, the day of the week, and the date. So you can record the date that way by circling it. I don't know why it's hard to write it out, but you can circle it, which I guess is maybe easier. I like this. It's not very intrusive. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, obviously. Then we have this 4mm grid, and you can see along the edge here we have numbers which go all the way to 24. So the idea is that you have 24 hours in the day. I don't know, schedule all of that time. It's like, okay, this would be good for, you know, somebody that only sleeps 4 hours a day, Elon Musk or something. But I like that it's subtle. Again, you don't have to use that if you don't want to. I don't find it distracting, so you can use this like a regular notebook if you want to. It's just nice to have that option there. The binding is very nice quality. Here we have, I believe, 23 signatures. It's hard to count because they are so small, but nice stitched binding. Lays flat. Really no complaints about the construction quality here. It's nice. Now let's go to the paper performance. And also, actually, just really quick, you can already see that there is show through. So even just the printing on the header here does show through onto the other side. That's the downside of, you know, the paper being so thin. Now looking at the front here, we have a pretty good looking face here. I don't see any issues, no feathering. Everything here looks nice. And then we go on to the back. We do get just a little bit of spotting on the Pilot Parallel in places, a little bit on the Mont Blanc 149, the OBB nib, just a little bit. And then on the Schaefer Legacy Medium, no bleeding, and the Lummi Safari Extra Fine, no bleeding. This is very good performance for such a thin paper. This is, in my opinion, fountain pen friendly. I wouldn't go, you know, as wide probably as the Mont Blanc, the double broad, but even with that, pretty minimal bleeding, so it's definitely fountain pen friendly. Now the Sharpie came through, the Pilot oil drawing pen, Staedtler permanent marker, the Copic sketch, and unfortunately With the roller balls, the Otto Fude ball 1.5 millimeter, the Uniball Air Micro, and Pentel Energel, we did get bleeding. And actually, even the Staedtler Pigment Fine Liner 0.7 millimeter, we did get some spotting there, and a little bit on the Stabilo Sensor Fine Liner 0.3 millimeters. We did just get a little bit of spotting there. Overall, I would say it is fountain pen friendly. You just don't go too wide. Not the best with roller balls, and maybe not the best with fine liners, but most of the other pens, normal pens anyway, are okay. But again, lots of ghosting here. I've only ever completed one of these, but I did enjoy using it. It held up. The quality is definitely good, and at a price of around $20, it's a nice notebook. If you want a lot of pages in a small size, I think this is a good potential alternative to Tomoe River. The paper, it's not a fast drying paper. This is a bit more absorbent. The paper or the ink doesn't just sit on there. It's not, again, I wouldn't say this is super absorbent and fast drying, but compared to Tomoe River, it is more of those things. So I think it can be a good alternative if you like a more absorbent, quicker drying paper. So what are my pros and cons for the Stalogy Editor's Edition 365 Days Notebook? Well, I think the biggest pro is that you're getting 368 pages in a 14 millimeter book. That's quite good. It's around $20, which is a very reasonable price. The build quality is very good. We get, I think, around 23 signatures, and it's a very flexible binding. It lays flat. I like the simple design. The cover, it has a plasticky feel to it, but it has a nice texture to it. I like the gold foil things they have here. It looks nice, and it's water resistant, I've found, which is good. You have a 4 millimeter dot grid, which I don't mind writing on. It's actually not bad. I like that we have this date thing here and a place for hours. They do it without it being too in your face. I like that it comes in 4 different nice sizes. It does only come in a grid, which is a downside. In terms of paper performance, I do find that this is pretty fountain pen friendly. With very wet nibs, or even with, I would say, sharp nibs, can get some bleeding. I don't really notice any feathering. You also can get bleeding with roller balls and felt tip pens, so if you like those, this probably isn't the best for you, but for most fountain pens, it works really nicely. There is also a lot of ghosting because it is a very thin paper, so that's definitely a downside. Other than that, I don't really have too many bad things to say about it. I think you get quite a bit for your money here. Do you guys have this notebook? Do you like this notebook? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen paper and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.